welcome to the YapCast, where we talk TF2 and you listen, maggots. I'm your host, Elliot, aka Aeroshark. My pronouns are he, it, and one cool fun fact about me is that I recently started the main demo man. So, we have a couple of things to discuss. Regards to past episodes, some updates in the community, along with war paints and weapons as per usual. So, let's get right into it. So, one of the first things that I want to sort of talk about, I sort of decided to write down things so that I would know sort of what I want to discuss and talk about in the episode. I need to turn off low power mode on my phone because, yeah, I want my phone to be on a little bit longer. But anyway, I was actually playing TF2 during December, and I mentioned that I have a podcast, and I think this was on, like, I think it was Turbine, and this guy goes, "Dude, what are you, a millennial?" And I'm like, "No, I'm Gen Z." And he's like, "Holy shit, someone in Gen Z who has a podcast, oh my god." I'm like, I like talking. So I figured that I would open a podcast. And yeah, I'll get into more about what we discussed later. But moving on, Krampus, I was talking to a lobby, and literally everybody agreed that Krampus is hot. Nobody knows why, it's just Krampus. I think a lot of us just agreed that it's his voice that does it, like his voice. I don't know, I like a guy with a deep voice, to be honest. I also want to mention, quick little heads up, I'm doing a collab next week, hopefully, with Lordly Dolls and Kleki, and we are going to be playing Uno, which I think should be really fun, and I know that a lot of my fans are actually excited for this, considering the fact that these guys are a lot bigger than I am. Lordly having, what, like 10k subs at this point, it's like, oh my god, like, yeah, Lordly's pretty chill, Dolls is pretty chill, Klek's pretty chill, so, all these guys are really freaking nice people, so, and I know that you guys are very tolerable of these people, considering the fact that these guys are pretty big within the TF2 community, so, yeah, anyway, about earlier with the whole millennial podcast thing, the reason that I mentioned having a podcast is because I mentioned an engineer update in a TF2 lobby. I mentioned the podcast episode and was like, so I made a podcast episode about an engineer update. How do you guys feel about that? And everybody was actually in agreement that engineer does need an update, or at least a little bit of an update. At the very slightest. And I mentioned how I think we could also add, teleporter variants with the whole jump pads and everything. If you haven't seen that podcast episode, I actually highly suggest that you go check that out in the YapCast playlist, or you can check my videos on my YouTube tab on my homepage. So there's that as well. And another thing that someone actually mentioned, because nobody could really think of what would replace the sentries, someone mentioned that we should be able to customize how our sentries look and sort of how they react to the environment, other than just giving us a mini sentry sort of variant. I personally think that would be actually pretty cool, to be able to customize your sentry or how your buildings sort of look. I think that'll give them some sort of, like, dynamic to Engineer and sort of make him a little bit more well-liked in the community, because I know that there's not very many people that like Engineer as a class, and that's sort of why I figured out, hey, last year I was an Engineer main, so I sort of figured, yeah. So moving on to the next thing that I wanted to mention, I wrote down that I would really like to see some official remixes of the TF2 soundtrack, like the original soundtrack. I know that there's this one guy, I think he's like Alex Giudice, I think that's how you say his name, who he has actually released a couple of like vaporwave remixes of the TF2 soundtrack. I know that there is one of Morgun. There's one of the one Pyro Saw. I can't remember it for the life of me. And then there is also one of the Medic songs. I can't think straight right now. But he made really, really good remixes of some of the songs. There's also a remix of Right Behind You. I really like version 2 of that. I love it to pieces. The only thing that I wish was that it was on Spotify, because, dude, I will have that on loop. I swear to God. I love this guy's music. He is very, very talented. Very, very talented. Moving on to the next point, I don't know how many of you know this, but I have a Funkin' mod. It is currently being reworked, because one of the modders on the team, the musician, the background artist, and the sprite animator, he is the guy that did all three of those. He was booted off the team. I don't think very many people know this, but I figured that I would share it and explain why this is relevant to TF2. The reason that we booted him off the team was because he was being extremely disrespectful towards an LGBTQ character. And the reason that this hits home is because queer identities aren't very well represented. And when they are represented, it's like a lot of them get a lot of backlash. And I feel like this character in particular, I'm not going to say which character, but all I will say is that they are non-binary and canonically use they/them pronouns. Unfortunately, that happened and we had to replace him. My mod team, we are working really hard to rework the mod as a whole. Like, basically everything. We are back at square one. The only thing that we have right now is the scripts. That is all we have. That's literally all we have. And menu music. Just a little bit of a teaser. And why this is relevant is because this is a mod for my TF2 AU, or branching off of my TF2 AU. I wanted to make a Friday Night Funkin' mod for my AU, where Boyfriend sort of falls into the TF2 universe, or at least my AU, and it sparks like a sort of like a sub AU within the AU, if that makes any sense. I don't really fucking know how to put it, but yeah, that's a thing. So it's really important that to sort of understand the mod as a whole and why it exists is if you would read the AU, it makes a lot more sense once you read the AU as a whole. So yeah. Again, unfortunately, we had to boot this person off the team for those reasons. So anyway, moving on to sponsors. Today's sponsor is my Discord server. You see that little Discord logo in the description? I know you want to join it. Something, isn't it? Well, if Valve Games and Nintendo content is your thing, you should totally join my Discord server. We have lots of text channels that you can check out, and on top of that, voice channels. If you're lucky enough, I might actually pop into one unless, I'm asleep. I also have a Discord server now for my podcast only. If that's something that interests you, you can go ahead, click the first link below, and also, I have a link to my Discord server down where the links are for my channel. Thank you for listening to the sponsor break. Now, back to the podcast. So, news for the TF2 community. Oh boy. I don't think we really have that many updates for to this month, but a little bit over Christmas break, like 5 days before Christmas. Oh my god, December 20th. Holy shit, mark it in the books. Valve actually tweeted on the TF2 Twitter account after like 3 years. Holy shit. And this was to literally randomly announce on some random Friday afternoon, oh yeah, the 7th comic is out. So that happened. And it literally took everybody by storm. It was trending. Tweets were being made. Everybody was like, what? Even I was like, what? And I literally made a video within like 12 hours of the comic being out. I remember like rushing to my computer, reading the entirety of the comic, all 300 pages. I'm pretty sure that's how much it is. All 300 pages in one day. Not even joking. I was that dedicated. I was sick as all get out, but I still made the dedication to be able to read all of it. All of the comics. I'm not even joking. So, yeah, that happened. And then there was also another update. Smith's Maps have been removed from the holiday updates and were moved to the casual for under their respective places on the roster of the maps. Because if you look under like payload and capture the flag, yeah, the Smith's Maps are there. Apparently that's a thing. There's actually a Twitter account called Did TF2 Get Updated? They tweeted that out. Usually the stuff that they post is accurate information, so that's what I'm going off for this. If you guys want to see the proof, it's on that Twitter account. So yeah, huge shout out to them for that. So moving on to the war paints. Wahoo! So I actually wrote down a couple of the war paints that I wanted to sort of go over and sort of be like, okay, these are ones that I like, these are ones that I don't like. So I'm gonna go in order that I wrote them down and if I like them or not. Excuse me. So the first one that I have written down is Frog Dusted. I actually really like this one. I like how the green and blue go together pretty nicely. I like how they blend well together. It looks nice. I like crocodiles. I'll rate this one a 10 out of 10. I like it. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Because I feel like that the gray could be maybe a little bit more gray, but that's it. I think maybe it's like a brown. I don't really know. I'll rate that a 9.5 out of 10. So, the next one that I have written down, Fire Glazed. I need to do a little bit of scrolling, don't I? Oh boy. Alright, Fire Glazed. Fire Glazed is the next one. I honestly do not remember what I said last because I was responding to Discord DMs. I literally paused the recording to respond to DMs because I had DMs. Fire Glazed. I actually really like this one. It reminds me of Pyro, probably because it is, like, referencing Pyro, but that's besides the point. I really like this one, though I feel like the details of the fire maybe could be a little bit better, but given that the war paints are supposed to sort of have that, like, cartoony sort of vibe, I like it. Like, honestly, I would give this one probably a 7.5 out of 10, maybe 8, somewhere between there. Maybe it's 7.75. Yeah, that seems about right. 7.75 out of 10. I like it. It's okay. My voice is, like, killing me right now from, like, talking. Oh my god. And then we have Misfortunate. I need to find that because I don't remember what all of them look like. Because I am a little twerp like that. Here it is. This one, I think I put it down because I really like the color scheme. I like green, I like purple, I like blue. Those are my favorite colors. So obviously, I'm gonna like this one. So, and obviously it's a Scream Fortress war paint, so we all know I like Scream Fortress. I freaking love Scream Fortress and the contracts that they have for that. So, honestly, I think this is the first 10 out of 10 on the list. Yep, first 10 out of 10 on the list. Like, you can't go wrong with this one. I really like it. I really want it. Like, I don't care if it's... I don't care the quality of it. I don't care if it's brand new. I don't care if it's, like... I want this war paint really fucking bad. I love it. I love it a lot. And the next one, I think this is the second to last one, is Pumpkin Plastered. That is... I think... Was it up a little bit further? Was it? I should have opened these in a new tab and done it like that, but, nope. I was a little dumbass and was like, hey, I think I'll be able to find them okay. But, that was not the case. So I think I'm gonna look this one up in a new tab. Unless I'm stupid and it's right in front of me. Man. Yeah, no, it's not right in front of me. I need to look this one up. Yeah, this is me for you guys. Oh my god, can we put down L. Elliot in the comments below? Like, please? Alright, let's see. What was it? Pumpkin Plastered. Pumpkin Plastered war paint. Yep. Of course I did a slash instead of enter. And of course my Wi-Fi is slow. Yep, I went past it. Looking at it on a couple of the weapons, I actually really like how it looks on the rocket launcher, like the stock rocket launcher. It looks pretty cool. I feel like it could probably look a little bit better on the Holy Mackerel, looking at it how it is. I like how it looks on the wrench, though. I like how it looks on the wrench. I like this one. This one is okay. This one gets an okay by me. This one gets an okay out of 10. Actually, no, a Halloween out of 10. Pumpkin out of 10. Yep, that's what it gets. I don't think I need to say anything else. And then, last but not least for the war paints, the Stardust war paint. And now I need to look this one up. You guys can probably hear me typing away at my keyboard. I put this one down because it looks like very Vaporwave themed, and I think we already know how I am about Vaporwave. I love Vaporwave. I absolutely adore Vaporwave as a whole. I like how this looks, okay? I like how it looks. This is gonna be the second 10 out of 10. This is gonna be the second 10 out of 10 on the list. I like it. It's cool. I like, okay, it looks good on all the weapons. Why does it look good? Why does it look as good as it does? Yep, I like this one. Alright, actually no, this one gets a Vaporwave out of 10 by me. AKA a 1000 out of 10. I like this one. It is really good. This takes the cake. This is my favorite right now. This is my favorite right now. I love this one. I love it. I freaking love this one. And now, moving on to weapons, we have the mutated milk. I actually saw this one for the first time today, and I'm like, what the flip? What is this? It looks like Mad Milk, but like with the bread. I find it really, I've never seen that before. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use the mutated milk, like, ever. And that's what I think is, like, really interesting about it. That's probably why I really like it. So honestly, I'm gonna give this one, call a 9 out of 10. I like it, although, I feel like it could probably have a Girardi variant. That's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I feel like it could have a Girardi variant. And then, the Bat Saber. I think we already know how I feel about the Bat Saber. I love this weapon. This is a 10 out of 10 weapon. I don't think I need to say anything else. I like anything that glows. I like anything that lights up. And of course, you bet your ass, I'm going to rate the Bat Saber a 10 out of 10. Okay, you guys can fight me on this. I like the Bat Saber. Leave me alone. Dragon's Fury is the next one, aka the second to last. This one, I actually struggled with for quite a while. I struggled with it for, I think, well, I was doing, like, contracts, and then, like, after I was doing the contracts, I felt the relapse. I was like, now that I've grown, like, accustomed to using the Dragon's Fury, I actually miss using it. I really liked using it. And since I don't have one in my inventory, I don't know why, but after I say that I like certain weapons and stuff like that, and that I'd really, really like a certain weapon, I don't know why, but Valve is like, hey, you said that you wanted this weapon, so here you go, free random drop of said weapon. That's what happened with the Holy Mackerel. I literally got it, like, right after I said, hey, I really want this weapon. I'm not even joking. Literally after I recorded the last podcast episode, I went to go play TF2, and that's the exact thing that happened. I got the Holy Mackerel. I'm like, what the frick? What the what? And last but not least, the Scorch Shot. I've seen people use this. They've used it like a freaking ballistic missile. Let me tell you, people who use this are absolutely batshit insane. I love anybody who uses the Scorch Shot, which is exactly why I am making it the weapon of this month. I love the Scorch Shot. Okay, you can fight me on that. I love this weapon. I freaking love it, and the detonator too. I love both of them. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna wrap up the episode here. Make sure that you guys are leaving a like on my videos, and have them on loop if you can, because we are about halfway to getting monetized. So if you want to see better content, if you want to see me getting paid for the content that I do, and the stuff that I'm doing, and so you can probably see some Etsy videos, because I want to take after Lordly, yeah, you better start watching the videos a lot more. You better start having them on loop. Make sure to like the video, or else I will send Pyro after you, and drop a sub if you haven't already. And yeah, Error Shark out.